So here I am, super excited to open a package that I just received today. Not really sure why I ordered this. I happen to be thinking about my childhood and the way my parents made coffee. Then I looked it up on YouTube. There were tons of videos about how Cubans make espresso coffee. And then I happened to see this, and it was my favorite color, so hopefully this is what I think it is. Oh, it is. So this is what thrills me these days. This is what happens when you hit over 40. The pleasures of life get simpler. And it's an espresso coffee maker. I think Cubans and some other Spanish nationalities call it a cafetera. I believe Italians call it a Moka. And it's a little coffee maker, and based on the videos I saw, you put the water in here and you put the coffee in here in this little cup filter. Let's see how it comes out right here. And somehow the technology in here is once you fill this up and you pack it up with coffee, nice and tight, and it's a special coffee. It's a espresso coffee it's, I guess, either Italian espresso coffees or the Spanish Caribbean coffees like El Bustelo, El Caribe, and Bilong. They put it in here, then attach this back, and they fill this up with water, I think, based on the videos, to the section where this little hole is. And then the process is once the water heats up, it forces the coffee to rise up into the water. I think that's what it is. I could be mistaken. I will try it out in a few and see how it works. This is so cute. Okay, so I've gotten my package of espresso coffee. It's finely ground coffee. This one is Café Bustelo. So it's a Spanish style, and as I indicated earlier, some other people use the Italian style coffee. I forget the brands, but I'm going to be trying this because this is what I actually had in my cabinet. It's vacuum pack sealed, so I'm gonna open the top. Now the instructions that came with it, which I've just misplaced. The instructions say to unscrew first the base, which I did, fill up the water up to the safety valve. And so I was wrong. I think the water, I said earlier that the water came up to here, and I have a feeling that's incorrect. This is the safety valve here. So I'm going to fill up the bottom part of the carafe or the coffee maker. There's a little safety valve in there, and it says up to it. So I guess I'm going to do it right to the bottom part of it. And I'm using cold tap water, but I'm assuming some other people like to use filtered water. So I've done that. Now the instructions say to insert the filter funnel into base and fill it with finely ground espresso coffee. Do not pack the grounds down. So I'm going to take it out again. Oh, sorry, that's not it. This is it. I'm going to take this. I think I put it here. And I'm going to pack it up. Now, some videos that I was watching last night, they were saying pack it firmly. But for some reason, I'm a stickler for following written instructions, even though it's contrary to what the videos I saw yesterday. So I'm going to follow the written instructions and just not pack it down. I think that's fine. And now it says to screw the top firmly onto the base. Let's see how this works. Since there were some grounds left on top. Okay, now it says to place the espresso maker onto the stove at low to medium heat. So give me a second and I'm going to set that up right now. So here I am turning on my stove. One of the video persons who was showing how to do a cafecito yesterday pointed out to make sure that this part is not directly on top of the flame because it will melt. So that was a very helpful part. So I'm going to put this here. And I saw him do it this way. He didn't set the whole thing up. And I'm putting it on medium to high. According to the written instructions, it says let steep for 3 to 5 minutes. So my time on my stove says 6:13, and I'm going to come back exactly 6:16. So I had it on low to medium heat as per the directions, but I believe that it's been more than the 3 to 5 minutes. So I increased it a tiny bit more, and you can see now the steam is starting to rise. I think you can see the steam. I see it from my perspective starting to rise over the last minute. So I put the heat on a little bit higher, and I made sure I put the pot a little bit further over the flame, just to ensuring that the plastic piece is not getting any of the heat. So I'm under the impression now that it's steeping. I want to now open it up and see what's going on. Because it says after you let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes, you can pour immediately from the serving chamber, but I'm going to assume that I let it steep after it does whatever little process it does. I hear the water boiling, and the steam is definitely rising. So let me see what ends up happening. I'm afraid if I open the top, it's definitely going to have an overload of steam. But I'm going to peek anyway. Hopefully curiosity does not kill the cat. Oh yeah, I see the coffee. Let me see if it shows up in the camera. Yeah, you see the coffee starting to come up through that valve and into the serving pot, or the serving chamber part of the pot. Interesting. Love old technology working in 2018. So I turned it off because I don't want it to boil too much. I have a feeling that's going to affect the flavor of the coffee. And so I'm going to now, I don't have an espresso cup per se. I had these cute little coffee mugs here at home that I purchased somewhere, and they're about espresso size. So I'm going to try and see what happens. Okay, so very hot toward the edge. Make sure you keep your hands on the plastic part. As you can see, it's very thick, very black, looking like very yummy espresso. So that's supposed to be a 2 to 3 serving size worth, but it gave me one little cup. So either I stopped it from boiling too fast, or I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna drink it. I'm not an espresso drinker, so I'm probably going to adulterate it by adding some half and half and see how it comes out. Thank you. So I added my half and half, and it looks absolutely delicious to me. Probably not to a true espresso drinker, but just to note, this is New York style, my style coffee. So we'll see how it tastes. And I added a little Splenda since I'm trying to avoid some sugar for some while. I just wanted to note that Cubans, they do another process. There's some excellent videos on how to make a cafecito, which includes some sugar, and a process that includes adding the sugar prior to adding the coffee. And I believe Italians make it a completely different way. They may just make it straight up and drink it black. So I decided to continue letting the water boil because I felt like that was too little coffee yielded and it didn't quite make sense. And lo and behold, that was correct. I did it improperly the first time because I got greedy. A whole bunch more coffee came out. So that does look like the other 2 cups out of the 3 cups that this is supposed to yield. So now I'm just going to continue letting it boil until I see no further steam, and I'm going to assume that that's the actual end of the process. In the meanwhile, I did drink my first little cup. As I said, I may have changed it a bit by adding half and half, which I'm sure a lot of people would probably be disgusted by, but it was so delicious that I really loved it, and it worked for me. Okay, I served the last 2 cups of espresso. It's actually about another third left. I think the steam is now subsiding. Just to be clear, let me just turn off this heat. This part here is super hot. Remember, this is part of the aluminum, so when you're grabbing it, just make sure you stay clear of it, because I just learned it does burn you if you touch it. And just to let you know, I ordered this from Amazon for $12.99. This is the little tag that comes with it. The quality of the video does not do the color justice. It's a beautiful turquoise blue, my favorite color, which is one of the reasons I ordered it. And it doesn't have the name of the brand here, but on Amazon it was Palais, P-A-L-A-I-S, as in Sam, Palais espresso maker or a Moka pot. Okay, thank you, goodbye.